Coming to you from the Lydia Media Studios in the heart of Lewiston, Auburn, it's Lydia's Lunch Bunch, LA's afternoon morning show with Mark, Sara, and Pam, and we are covering news and events in the greater LA area and maybe, on occasion, sharing some personal stories. Give us a listen at lydiamediallc.com or wherever you get your podcasts. And feel free to share your comments, questions, or suggestions via email at podcast@lydiamediallc.com.
Today's show is brought to you by UPI Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, serving residential and commercial customers with new installations and repairs. Call today and schedule your oil and gas boiler cleanings at 754-4556. UPI, the best plumbers around. And by Ruper's Beverage and Redemption. When it comes to beer, wine, and spirits, don't botch it, squatch it. At 6 locations in Lewiston, Auburn, and Oxford. Learn more at rupersbeverage.com. And remember, the party starts at Ruper's.
We're going to need some Rupers.
Listen, I went over there and dropped a bunch of cash last week. I got myself all stocked up.
Yeah.
We got to get restocked. We don't have anything right now for Thursday, so we don't know. It's a surprise.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I grabbed a few things.
Yeah.
Wow. Stuff we've already tried, though, so I don't know.
Sarah came in this morning saying she had snow on her car over the weekend.
Yeah.
So that is reason enough for me to head to Ruper's and grab a
I
cart.
know. Should have had some bourbon when I got home. It's snowing up at Sunday River, y'all.
Let's take a look at some headlines for Monday, October 28th.
Governor Mills released a video paying tribute to the victims and survivors of the October 25th tragedy. Mills reminded Mainers that we are not alone and we will continue to heal together. The video can be seen on all official State of Maine social media accounts and at maine.gov. A photo gallery of the October 25th commemoration event held Friday at the Colisee can be seen at ryancaptureslife.com.
Lisbon firefighters extinguished a mobile home fire on 14 Upper Drive yesterday. A discarded cigarette in an outdoor flower pot caused the fire. No injuries were reported. The department cautions against disposing of smoking materials outside due to dry conditions and dead leaves.
Tomorrow is National Vote Early Day. Voting services in the cities of Lewiston and Auburn will stay open late tomorrow for those who can't make their usual business hours. Voter registration and absentee voting will be available from 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Lewiston Public Works has moved the Alfred A. Plord Parkway paving project to today. Paving on Montello Street from East Ave to Stanley Street is expected to be completed later today.
The Lewiston Fire Department announced the promotion of Justin Schink to lieutenant. Lieutenant Schink started his career with the LFD in 2011 and has spent time on Engine 3 and Ladder 1. His new assignment is Engine 4.
The weather.
Here's Pam with the weather.
It's sunny and
Yay!
chilly today with a high of 46 brr, and a low of 26.
Double burr.
Jinx. A chance of rain tomorrow with a high of 50 and rain on Wednesday with high temps in the 60s.
Well, it couldn't last forever.
No.
You know, let's just be glad it happened. I heard it's going to get nicer later in the week, though,
Yeah,
around
Thursday.
Halloween.
It's going to be a good Halloween night.
Oh, is it going to be a good day to paddle?
No.
Oh,
Well, for you, yes.
Yeah.
For normal people,
no.
no.
Okay, great.
In sports, wake the kids and stop the presses. The New England Patriots have won an NFL football game.
Say what?
Yeah, it happened. Quarterback Jacoby Brissett led the Pats on 2 fourth-quarter scoring drives en route to a 25-22 win over the New York Jets. Pats starting QB Drake May was removed from the game in the first half with a concussion. New England will visit the Tennessee Titans on Sunday afternoon.
Maybe we have another Brady on our hands,
I'll
right?
tell you. Well,
He filled in for Bledsoe, right?
but Brissett started the season for the Patriots, and then he was pulled after 5 games because they were 1-4.
Because he was not doing well.
Because he was not Tom Brady.
I wonder if he was like, I gotta crush this, or they're gonna keep me back here.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to be demoted to third string.
They
Gotta
already
do it.
reluctantly put him in.
That's right.
Well, we love the Celtics, and they will host the Milwaukee Bucks tonight at 7:30.
The Bruins won over the weekend.
Yeah, they did.
Which was a pleasant
It
surprise.
was nice.
They tried to blow it.
It almost
but they
happened.
Yes, they tried, but
didn't.
went into overtime, and Brad Marchand put an end to it.
That guy's the best, huh?
He is. He's something.
He's so good.
The Bees host the Philadelphia Flyers tomorrow night.
And the Maine Nordiques unfortunately dropped a pair of games to the Northeast Generals over the weekend, losing 6-4 on Saturday and 3-2 yesterday. The Nords will visit the Danbury Hat Tricks on Friday and Saturday.
The NA3 Nordiques will host the New Hampshire Junior Mountain Kings this weekend at the Colisée, Friday at 7:30 and Saturday at 7.
Bates College football beat Middlebury 21-20. It was the first time the Bobcats beat the Panthers since 1988.
That is huge.
3 years ago.
That is a huge win for Bates, because Bates' football team historically has not been very good, and
no.
Middlebury came in. I think the record was 5-2.
Oh, wow.
And they're at the top of the
pretty good.
standings. And yeah, good day to be a Bobcats fan.
I guess so. Nice day for a game, too.
Yeah. Central Maine Community College men's basketball beat Roxbury Community College 93-81. CM women's basketball will visit Husson tomorrow night. That is your news, weather, and sports. And right now, it is time for the podcast segment that is sweeping the Twin Cities. It's time for famous people birthdays.
They're famous. It's their birthdays. It's famous people birthdays. It's famous people birthdays.
Let's take a look at FPBs for October the 28th, shall we?
There's so many.
We're going to start off with Joaquin Phoenix,
Yeah.
who is celebrating a milestone birthday today.
Oh, yeah?
He's 50.
Big 5-0.
The big 5-0.
He kind of went through a phase where he was real weird and sort of has come out of it. And I think we all recognize he is still really weird, but he's also very talented.
A lot of talented people are weird.
Are really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think recently Joaquin is most well known for his portrayal of the Joker.
The Joker. Yeah.
Which they just came out with a sequel for, right? With Lady
Yeah.
Gaga.
I feel like you have to be just a touch crazy to play that role anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have never made it through that movie. It's really good, but it's
Dark.
almost uncomfortable.
Uncomfortably
Like
dark.
how, yes, like you can just almost feel how, I don't even know the word I'm looking for, like how mixed up and crazy he feels in that movie. It's
That's good acting. I remember him from Gladiator and
Yeah.
Space Camp. Space Camp was fun. That was like a movie from our era where they're there. They're just supposed to be there, like, and stay in the space station on the ground, but something happens, and they end up getting launched into space.
Oh, no.
It's not a comedy, but it is kind of fun. It's one of those 80s movies, you know, where you're like, what? How is this even possible?
the Johnny Cash movie, Walk the Line. That
Oh,
he was,
yeah.
both him and Reese Witherspoon
That
were
was good.
phenomenal in
Yeah,
that movie.
you're right.
Yep.
That was Walk the Line. Came out back in 2005, and he was... Did he win? No, he was nominated for an Academy Award for that one. He won the Academy Award for Best Actor for The Joker
The Joker.
in 2019.
Yeah.
He had
Yep.
to win an award for that.
Yep.
was that
Pam,
good.
Pam couldn't even sit through it, so that tells you how powerful his performance was.
Pretty darn good.
I was like, get it off my screen.
can't.
I can't watch that.
So uncomfortable right now.
Actor and comedian Andy Richter is 58 years old today. He was the sidekick of Conan O'Brien during Conan's late night run. Lauren Hawley is 61 years old today.
Oh.
Didn't realize she was that old.
I
but-
didn't either.
Yeah.
She's keeping it tight.
She is keeping it tight.
Oh boy.
I remember her originally as Linda Lee in the Bruce Lee story,
Oh.
The Dragon, which came out back in 93. And then she came back a year later in Dumb and Dumber.
I mean, that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
That's a natural progression, right?
Yeah.
Actor Dennis Franz. How do you say that?
I think France.
France?
Yeah, I think that's right.
All right.
Yeah.
He is 80 years old today. I think he's best known for playing Detective Andy Sipowicz in NYPD Blue.
Don't we see his butt once in that show?
You know,
I think you're right.
I am ashamed to admit this, but when I was compiling some facts and figures for our FPBs today, as soon as I saw his name, I'm like, that's the guy whose butt was on TV.
And it was the guy we did not want to see the butt of.
Because
Who?
It was when their show was on late enough, and they changed the rules. What is it? The FCC rules. Like after a certain time, you could say certain words and show certain things. And so his butt was like the first butt that we got to see on television.
Yay! Lucky us.
Why would you want to show us that butt of all the butts?
Who made that decision?
Wasn't Jimmy Smith on that show? His butt's way better.
Aw, poor Dennis.
I think he was the test butt.
He was the test butt. Do people
See how
like
the ratings
this?
go.
Yay or nay? And people were like, nay.
Can you guys handle this? Because if you can, maybe next week is Jimmy Smith's.
Maybe we were like, no, give us more. Who knows?
Oh, boy.
We need
Yeah.
more. So weird. What a weird choice.
Across the nation, that happened, and everyone was like, why?
Yeah. Who
What was the
asked for
first thing?
this?
Nobody wanted this. Nobody. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something.
No truer words.
Annie Potts is 72 years old today.
She's a treasure.
Treasure.
Very first thing that I remember her from was Designing Women, because I loved that show. And then Ghostbusters. She was great.
Oh, she was great in Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's just those great big glasses. Remember those great big
Yep.
And
Yep.
Egon is under the desk and she's like looking through a magazine and he's under there the whole time.
And just in case you want to feel old, the original Ghostbusters is 40 years old.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
She also voiced Bo Peep in the Toy Story movies
right.
Yeah.
She did. Yeah.
and various Disney video games as well.
Oh, that's not surprising.
Multi-talented,
Yeah.
multifaceted.
She's just like this tiny little powerhouse package of a person. She's great.
Rounding out FPBs for October the 28th.
Speaking of spunky redheads.
I tell you, Julia Roberts is 57 years old today.
Wow, she has a long career.
Yeah.
She started very young.
Mystic Pizza.
Mystic Pizza was the first.
I believe it was. And then her career just took off from there.
Yeah, it's hard to pick a favorite, but I think if I had to choose, I would say probably Steel Magnolias.
Oh,
Shelby,
that was a good movie.
drink your juice, Shelby.
There's a lot that I
So many
I
good
love
ones.
Julia Roberts anyway. She's
Yeah.
one of my all-time favorite actresses. Pretty Woman, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah, and then
very
Eat, Pray,
good.
Love was great.
Okay.
Aaron Brockovich.
Aaron
That was
Brockovich
a really,
That
was
was
great.
she
really
was
good in
really
that one.
that was like a sideways turn for her.
Yes.
Like really
Yes.
different
Something
role.
different.
Yeah,
Yep.
she was very good in that. Ocean's 11. She's great in those.
Was Pretty Woman the role that just launched her career?
I think so.
Yeah.
It went to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Another movie that's almost like a guilty admission here. My Best Friend's Wedding.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely loved that
With
movie.
Rupert Everett.
Yes.
Oh, that
Cameron
was so
Diaz,
good. And they
yep.
sing
Yes. Say a little bit for
for you. Oh, yeah.
That was
That-
impressive.
It is a good one. I'm with you on that
Yeah.
one. I like that one a lot. I love her acting, but I tend to like the roles for her where it's a little bit out of character for her and it's smaller because I feel like she does a lot with a little role.
Also, it's the one with where she's a famous actress.
Hugh Grant, Notting
Yes,
Hill.
Notting Hill.
Yeah.
I'm just a girl asking a boy.
Standing in front of a boy.
Yes.
Asking him to love me.
And Ocean's 11.
That was-
She didn't have a huge role in that, but she was fantastic.
Another one where
Yeah.
she just does a lot with a little
Yep.
part, you know? Yeah. She's
People-
She is a
talented.
force.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
People magazine named Julia Roberts the most beautiful woman in the world a record 5 times.
Wow. Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Those are your FPBs for October the 28th. Looking for a tasty meal? We have over a dozen options. Banking services? Plenty to choose from. Holiday gift ideas? Yep, we have that too. These are just a few of the resources you'll find in the October issue of Uncle Andy's Digest, along with jokes, funny stories, shout-outs, an events calendar, advertiser directory, and a whole lot more. Uncle Andy's Digest, your guide to, well, just about anything. Pick up your free copy today and visit UncleAndys.com. Now, Pam,
Yeah, we got to talk about this.
let's talk about some hot pizza you had over the weekend.
How does that even happen?
What is going on?
And the only person it would ever happen to is me. Really. So we're about to go to the show we were going to see at the State Theater Friday, and of course we need a little snack before we go.
Can't go there without food.
Snacks. So we went to this place nearby. I don't even remember what it was called, but we ordered probably 3 or 4 appetizers for all of us to share, right? And a flatbread pizza was one of them.
Ooh.
And I was ready to eat. I was hungry. So I take a bite, this little flatbread, and it was so hot that you bite it, and you let go of the bite, and I thought it was still, I guess, connected to the slice. Oh, no, it flaps right down on my chin, and that sauce was so hot. Like, I knew immediately that it burned. Oh. And so I'm like, oh, that hurt. So, and I'm just sitting there, and I kind of put my glass of water on it, and I'm feeling did it leave a mark? And I'm asking everybody at the table, no, everything's fine. I go to the bathroom. There's a blister on my chin. I'm like, I go back out. I'm like, are any of you my friends? I'm like, it left a mark. Like, everyone's like, no, everything's fine. A blister on my chin.
And this was Kevin and your friends from Texas at the table.
And 2 other friends of ours.
Okay.
And nobody said anything about the
Everyone
blister.
said everything was fine. Couldn't see it. And
Did they think the blister was there before?
It was dark. I'll give them that.
All
and I don't
right.
think they looked very closely. They're just like, oh, no, it's fine. Anyway, yep. So that was fun. I literally felt like, I think it's the movie Deuce Bigelow with a Tourette's person. Mole.
Oh, no, it's Austin Powers.
Is it?
Moly.
Yes.
Moly
That's
Russell's
what
wart.
I felt like for the rest of the weekend. I felt like my burn was just like the only thing people could see on my face.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was great.
I will tell you this. I love pizza. It's my favorite food in the whole world.
It's never happened to you, has it?
I'm going to tell you why. I don't.
It's a folder.
That's true, but I don't eat pizza straight out of the oven. And if I have to, if I'm in a hurry, fork and knife.
All right.
Only if it's scalding hot. Once it gets to a suitable temperature, then
He's
you
a gosh darn pizza professional.
pick it up and you throw it in your face.
Yeah.
You do get some looks if you eat with a pizza with a knife and a fork.
You do.
And as both of you probably well know, I just don't care.
I know. Yeah. Who cares?
I don't.
No.
Look at
No.
me all you want.
Yeah.
It's scalding hot. I don't enjoy scalding hot pizza
No.
because you don't taste anything. You just
No, you just burn the roof of
"Holy
your mouth."
crap,
Right.
This is hot.
And then you don't want that feeling the rest of
Yeah.
the day. Especially and when you burn the roof of your mouth, it's just all you can feel
Yeah.
Yeah.
with your tongue. Like you just never stop.
Nope. You
Touching
always
it.
got to touch it with your tongue over and over again. Is it still there? Is
Yeah.
it still there?
Still there.
And I don't know if either of you are familiar with Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports, but he has an account on Instagram called One Bite Pizza,
Yes.
where he reviews pizza throughout the country.
He
And
takes more than one bite.
He does, but it's always
Have to.
straight out of the oven. And I'm like, how can you give a decent review
No.
of pizza that is burning your mouth?
Do you guys do the thing where you like when you
Or you,
bites in
you,
your
you
mouth.
wave your hand in front of your mouth, right?
like you leave
Yeah.
your mouth open to let the
Yeah.
pizza cool off inside your mouth? Yeah.
Yep, done that.
That's
Yeah.
like the universal, oh, that pizza's too hot move.
I'm going to give that a minute.
I'm going to give it a minute.
Yeah.
I also burned myself over the weekend. But I did not burn it on food. I burned
Wait, over the weekend didn't you burn yourself prior to that? Oh no,
No.
that was a stabbing.
I stabbed
You stabbed
myself.
yourself. I'm sorry.
this is a different injury.
I'm sorry.
A different self-inflection.
No, yeah. That stabbing was a couple weeks ago. This is a good one though.
That is a good one. And those burns hurt.
It's a hot, dry burn. And what happened was I had to do an 80s themed murder mystery show yesterday. So I had to hold the curl out and
Yes.
spray it. And I put the curling iron down, and it's an unfamiliar curling iron because I needed a big curl for this particular style. And I put it down, and then I picked it up by the right side, the correct side, and my brain said, nope, that's wrong. And I dropped it real fast, and then full send picked up the barrel of the curling iron with my hands.
Sarah.
So I burned it in several places. That's probably the worst. But yeah, and I dropped it, and it landed on the floor, and Nick came in and he was like, what are you doing? And I was running my hand under the cold water, and I was like, because of the stabbing, I was like, nothing.
Trying to recover.
Nothing. He's like, did you want me to pick that up? And I was like, yes. And then he goes, which end's hot? And I was like, I don't know. I don't even know.
Apparently.
I don't even know anymore. Just be careful.
Is it one of those times when you like do something and you're like, why did I do that?
Yeah.
Like, why did I do that?
Why did my brain tell me that the correct end of this was hot when it was not? Is the other question that I have to ask myself.
Oh my
What
goodness.
was that?
Have either of you ever gone to take something out of the oven, grabbed an oven mitt,
And then used
and then
the-
removed it with your bare hand?
Yep.
I did that recently.
Kevin does that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely have done it.
Yeah.
Yep. Also
That's
have
not
a
fun.
I have a glass top stove. Do you have a glass top stove?
Yes.
So I didn't do this. My former partner, we were hosting a party, and I had just had something hot on the stovetop, and for some reason he went to brush crumbs off with his hand off the stovetop and went right across that hot burner, and I was like,
Oh, no.
and then I was like, what have you done? What have you done? He had a big old blister on his palm. I did not react the way I should have reacted in that situation with the amount of empathy that was needed. Because I was like, we have a house full of people and you need to go to the ER.
What did you do?
You're embarrassing
What
me.
have you done?
You and your stupid injury.
Oh, no. I mean, I had a little more empathy than that, but I was kind of pissed. I was like, oh my gosh, now what?
Now it's a whole thing.
The whole thing. All right, and then a friend of ours actually ended up taking him to the ER for us.
You were
that
like,
I didn't
phew.
have to like get rid of everybody.
I was like, good, you take his sorry ass to the
no,
hospital.
he was okay. He just burned himself. It was actually not to say that he overreacted, but he kind of overreacted. I mean, I stabbed myself and refused to go to the hospital.
Like, I'm
so
not going.
I was like, "Do you really need to go to the hospital? It's probably fine." Don't be a baby
I just
about
have
it.
a geyser of blood emanating from my
I
thigh.
know, like,
I'll be fine. Everything's fine.
everything's fine. I'm okay.
It's getting on the ceiling, but that's
I
okay.
tell myself all the time, I'm okay.
Can you imagine if I would have went to the hospital for my...
For your chin burn. They'd be like, what? Why are you
How did you burn your chin?
Did
Oh,
your-
there was jokes all weekend about what I did to my chin.
hot pizza? Oh, I can only imagine. Maybe not safe for radio?
No.
But podcast.
Podcast. Giddy up. Listen, we both had tiny burns, but I know that Mark has a story.
I had a big burn. When I was 16 years old, I worked at Lewiston Bottled Gas,
Oh, boy.
which is on Summer Street. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is now. It's not there anymore. Myself and two other teenagers were working alone on a weekend inside a garage
Sounds
in
safe.
February.
Okay.
We were purging tanks, and there was some propane gas that was filling up the garage. That we were like,
It was cold.
it was cold. I won't say the tanks were full. The tanks, when you purge a tank, it has very little gas in it. So you just let out the excess and then you get them ready to be filled and what have you. Well, apparently there was quite a bit of propane gas inside the garage. So when the thermostat kicked in, it caught the gas
Because it makes a little spark.
inside
Yeah.
of the garage. And the garage blew up with the three of us in it.
Oh, my
Yeah.
Can you
goodness.
even?
No. That's what nightmares are made of.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, it was.
Yep. And one of the people I was with inside the garage is currently the chief of police in the city of Lewiston,
Oh, okay.
David St. Pierre.
Yeah.
And so whenever we see each other, we revisit that story. Whoever he's with, he'll be like, that's the guy I was telling you about. Who I blew
Like an
up
old
with.
war story.
That's
You're
right.
Like,
That's
remember
right.
that time?
The force of the explosion was so great that the doors of the, and this was an industrial sized garage. We had like huge trucks in there. And the force of the explosion was so great, it blew the doors off of the garage onto the railroad tracks behind the business, which was more than a football field away.
Holy.
Yeah.
That's insane.
We're all very lucky. We're all still alive and have very few scars to show for it. But every exposed area was burnt. I had my face burned, and it was the winter, so we had
Something you definitely had to go to the hospital for.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh, for days. For days. Yeah.
Yes.
So every exposed area was burned. Dave got the worst of it because Dave was wearing coveralls with elastic wristbands. So they melted to his wrists. So he was the only one who got third-degree burns. The rest of us all got second-degree burns. One of the memories I have from that will stay with me forever was when we were visited by the fire department all three of us were in the hospital having our wounds treated and all that. And then we were interviewed by the fire department. And he told us that at the time of the explosion, all three of us were exhaling. Because if we were inhaling, we'd probably be dead. So we're three teenagers that were just in a garage that exploded. And we're running around after we didn't know what to do. We're just we're running around in the parking area, just patting ourselves and looking at our clothes, looking at each other, just freaking out.
Yeah. Did you remember to stop, drop, and roll?
I did not.
Like they taught us in school. Remember?
Well, we weren't on fire.
Okay.
That would have been different.
Yeah.
I think. The other memory I'll never forget is the first on the scene was a policeman. And he came on and he parked his car, and we were so happy to see someone, an adult,
anybody
that could help us. Yeah. So the policeman gets out of his car to go assess the damage. He looks at all three of us. We're all running around. He knows we're okay, kind of. We're so anxious to get to the hospital. All three of us climb into the back seat of the police car and close the door, and the policeman is not in the car. He's out looking, surveying the damage, seeing if there's anybody else in there. We can't get out. And there's burning flesh and hair.
Oh my God.
The smell was horrendous. And we're all looking at each other. We all have burns in our faces, and our hair is fried, and we're all just freaking out. And then it's like all of a sudden we just went, "Oh my God!" The smell was so bad. I don't know if they ever got that smell out of the car, and I don't
just dad threw that car away.
Yeah, I don't know who the policeman was, but certainly apologize for that, because when he got back in, he must have been like, "Oh, I'm not driving this thing ever again."
Oh my God.
It was bad.
Wouldn't it be cool if somebody told this story, and then that policeman heard this story and was that was me, and came and talked to you? That would be so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's
so
one of my favorite Mark
yeah,
stories.
I want to hear his version.
We all spent a few days in the hospital, and they would put this, I forget what it was called, but it was this white cream that they put all over our burns. And they lather that stuff on. It was they were very generous. And I was rooming with the other guy that was in it. His name is Dean. And Dean wanted some cornflakes for breakfast. And he was sitting up in his bed trying to eat his cornflakes, and pieces of the cream that were lathered on his face were just dropping into his cornflakes.
So gross.
And I looked over. The minute I looked over, I saw a piece fall, and it plopped, and the milk splattered. And he's like, "Not hungry anymore." He just put it aside.
It's awful.
It was. And it is amazing that the three of us or our parents did not take any legal action.
Right.
I thought about that
Different
for a half
time.
second.
Yep.
Yeah, different time.
It was a different time, and all three of us went back to work there.
That's
after
crazy.
we healed.
No.
Yep.
No, that's crazy.
I don't know why. I look back at that time, and I was like, I was 16. I wasn't.
You still felt invincible.
Yeah, still felt invincible, and it was a paycheck, and I had a car payment to make, and blah blah blah. And
where was the adult to be like, guys, you need to ventilate if you're purging tanks?
There was a ventilation system in there.
Yeah.
But apparently it wasn't enough.
I guess.
And the thing is, because we were part-timers, and we found this out after, we were never invited to any safety meetings.
Oh.
But you were left to work there alone.
We were left alone on a weekend to work with propane tanks.
You can't do that now.
No.
It's very different now.
Yeah. So did that police officer drive you to the hospital, or did you have to get out and get into an ambulance?
We were in an ambulance on the way to the hospital. Mm. Yeah, because they showed up. I mean, they were seconds after the policeman showed up.
Oh, man.
And I remember I went to school shortly after. This probably, I don't know, week and a half after that happened, going to school.
Wow.
And people were just like, I'm walking through the hallway, and people were just like,
what happened?
Clearing away for me and just looking at me, because it was still very obvious. Yeah. You think I get bad haircuts now? You should have seen my hair back then. After it was fried, my father goes, a member of our family, I can't remember the relation, but she was a stylist, and he brought me in, and she looked at me, and she was like taken aback. She's like, what am I going to do with that?
Shave it.
And he's just like, do the best you can. And she did the best she could, and it was not good. For a 16-year-old kid going to school with that hair.
On top of everything else.
On top of everything else.
Bad haircut.
It was no good. Mark almost died, but did you see his hair? What a rat's nest.
What a bum.
He's a bum.
Bum. Get a haircut.
Yeah, that's the thing now. Whenever I need a haircut, Sarah tells
So
me,
is
get a
natu-
haircut, you bum.
Is natural gas in your household an option?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's not scarred for life.
Yeah, I'm not scarred for life over that, but it just
I might have been.
Yeah.
I did have some. Yeah, there were some sleepless nights after and some
course.
trauma and what have you, but I'm over it now. Anywho,
Yeah, I think Mark beats us.
that's my little story.
100%.
Mark's burn story wins.
I'll take my chin burn.
I'm going to take my chin burn and go home.
Heed my advice, Pam. If it's straight out of the oven, grab a fork and a knife,
right.
and don't care what anyone
Don't
says.
care what they say.
Enjoy your hot pizza and your flawless chin.
I mean, and then after the fact, they're like, "That's gonna leave a scar." I'm like,
Thanks, guys. Jesus.
"But you didn't notice it. Now all of a sudden, it's gonna leave a scar." Okay.
The Exchange Club of Auburn extends a formal invitation to all veterans for a complimentary luncheon at the Green Ladle in recognition of your steadfast dedication and commitment to our nation. The event is Friday, November 8th at the Green Ladle on the campus of Lewiston High School. For more information, call John Reed at 777-3579.
All right, so we're gonna lighten the mood a little bit, I guess, or change the subject matter, and
Yeah.
we'll close the show with a couple of random questions.
Yeah. Okay, you guys ready?
Ready?
Which mythical creature would be the worst roommate?
I'm thinking Dobby from Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah, a house elf.
Well, he was so high strung.
He was.
Dobby, stop it! Settle down.
I'm thinking the Loch Ness monster. Like, how are you gonna keep that guy alive if you don't live near a loch?
Well, you never see. If you don't live near a loch, you'd need a house on a loch.
That's true.
You know what though? You'd never see him.
Well,
Does he have? He's living in the water, so
yeah.
No.
All right, I take it back.
Okay.
What's the one that's half horse and half man?
A centaur. That
Yeah.
was the first one I thought of too.
I did think of centaur.
So I think that would be the worst.
Because of the
Would be
poop.
a centaur. The poop does enter into it.
because of the poop.
But also, I mean, you got to take them out every once in a while.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, here I go. I got another dude on a leash.
Yeah.
How's that going to look in public?
That's weird.
Plus, he's like half horse. He's going to take up the whole couch.
Takes up so much space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
for
need
sure.
that.
I have one of those.
Yeah.
Lydia.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
I
we
thought you were talking
moved-
about Kevin.
Kevin comes home in his goalie gear
Just like
and
throws everything everywhere.
just lays on the couch.
I was gonna say unicorn because you've got the pooping situation, but also that horn. Like it must knock
Yeah.
stuff over all the time. And at least with a centaur, you could talk to them. Like a unicorn, you wouldn't be able to talk to.
Yeah,
'Cause
but-
well, maybe unicorns talk. I don't know. I've never met one.
I have one. If you could have free meals for life at one, it says fast food, but we can say either a restaurant for the rest of your life. Which one would you choose? Which restaurant?
My restaurant is in New Hampshire.
Oh,
It's the 110 Grill. And
I love the 110.
the reason for that is they take food allergies so seriously
Yeah, they
there.
do.
And my wife and I have a difficult time going out to eat because of that. When she orders a meal and she wants it gluten-free, they have a separate section of the kitchen where they cook it, and the manager delivers the food.
That's impressive. I will say, when we were in Portland, almost every restaurant we went to started with, "Do we have any food allergies?"
yeah, they're getting much
which
better about it.
That doesn't really happen much, and that's a tough one.
If I had to pick, I would want to pick some place that had a variety of different foods so that I would never get tired of it.
Same.
And though it's probably not the most popular, probably someplace like Applebee's or 99 because like they have a big menu and you can pick something different all the time.
Yeah.
Also, and are you
could be-
saying that because they have a variety, or because you're focused on like a chain? It needs to be a chain.
Oh, a chain.
Okay.
Yeah. If I had to pick a restaurant that I could eat at for the rest of my life, it would that wasn't a chain, it'd probably be Da Vinci's.
Yeah, that's
Local,
a good one.
local guys. Yeah, I love their food.
That's well, you made a good point. You want a place that has a good variety. So I am thinking, I love a good salad in the summer. We had a lot of lobster this weekend, so I would choose a place that also offered like a lobster roll. But I also like a good steak. So I'm trying to think of a place that has all of those things.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Salad, steak,
it'd
and
be tough.
seafood.
And if I had to go chain, maybe.
Lone Star?
Ooh,
Right?
Texas Roadhouse
Texas
is actually
Roadhouse.
really good.
Yeah.
I like Texas Roadhouse.
There you go.
I don't know if they have lobster options, but I do like their steak and their side options.
Yeah.
So, and their rolls.
Do you have a question, Mark?
I do.
Okay.
I also have an exclamation point. See what I did? Because of the question mark. All right, final question. Whoever wants to take it, take it.
Okay.
Favorite book?
Oh, easy peasy.
Is that I haven't read it yet.
I've never heard of that book.
No.
My favorite book is The Witch of Blackbird Pond.
Okay.
I haven't read that. I would probably, and I've read it multiple times, but I'll be honest, I haven't read a lot of books in the past few years. But I've read The Bridges of Madison County multiple times. I loved that book. The movie was very disappointing.
Oh. Do you have a favorite book?
Or
I do.
Or Where the Sidewalk Ends.
Oh, well, I was going to say Where
Which
the
one's
Wild
that?
Things Are also.
Shel Silverstein.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What?
It's a book
Yeah.
of poems. It's good. I think I have it. I'll bring it in. You can look at it. It's fun.
When I didn't want to read Trevor a full story at night, we would pick a few
Yeah,
of those
she
little
can read 'em.
poems. It's like a poem book.
Yep.
It's fun. Yep.
He wrote a book called The Missing Piece that I absolutely
The
love.
Giving Tree.
The Giving
Tree's
Tree
very
I'm
good.
familiar with.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. But Where the Wild Things Are was my favorite as a kid. But yeah.
Yeah. Mine is, I think you currently own it, Born to Run.
I do own it.
See?
I can't read it, but I do own it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I read that when I was into running, like religiously. I'd go out running 4 or 5 days a week and sign up for every 5K and 10K and half marathon and all that.
Spoke to you.
And I read that book and it made complete sense to me. He presents a great argument for barefoot running. It struck a chord with me, and ever since then, I've been wearing my funny-looking
Barefoot shoes.
that have a
Yeah.
pocket for each toe. And you should see the looks I get, Pam.
It's-
I have a pair of those.
Do you?
And I tried running in them. I did not like it. My feet hurt.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Your feet hurt because you were running incorrectly prior. If you give those a chance,
Yeah.
they will train you to run correctly because you run in such a way where your feet won't hurt.
So I am a heel striker.
Yep,
and I've tried
that's
to.
the incorrect
I know.
way.
I
the
know. I've been
problem.
told.
Yeah.
Thank you, BJ Grondin of Prime 360. He tried with all of his might to get me to not be a
Yep.
heel striker.
It's hard to break into that mid-foot strike. It's the way your foot lands, and it's the way your leg extension and how far forward you lean and how much you swing your arms and all of it. It all matters.
Yep. If you watch Olympic runners, like Olympic sprinters, they're not heel strikers.
Yeah, they don't even put their heel onto the ground, I
And
don't think.
They have a little bit of a lean
Yeah.
forward. I also read a book called Chi Running, and that was the whole philosophy behind that was you're not propelling yourself with your legs or your feet. You're propelling yourself with your lean.
Yeah. My physical therapist explained it to me in this way, and it made sense. And she said it's like you're falling forward. You should be leaning so far forward that it is like you're going to fall.
Yep.
That would make me nervous.
Yep.
If I lose my balance, there
But
goes
that-
my chin again.
But that makes there goes your chin. Aww.
And that's the show, everyone. we can't top that.
That's pretty great.
That's the ultimate closer. Thanks to our sponsors, Ruper's Beverage and Redemption and UPI Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. And if you would like to be part of the Lydia's Lunch Bunch advertising family, reach out to Pam and her chin via email at Pam's Chin. Just kidding. It's Pam at LydiaMediaLLC.com. Thanks for listening. Have a great Monday. We'll catch you tomorrow.